This video is sponsored by Frameset. Let's take a look at a scenario. You have an idea that you need to get out in the world. You know exactly what you want and how the video is going to be. You have everything planned in your head. The gear is ready, you're stoked, and you're ready to create your best work so far. Nothing could go wrong. The location is perfect, the conditions immaculate, and you couldn't have asked for more. You think. Because now you have arrived and started shooting. Everything is going well, just until you realize that you definitely don't have enough footage for your video. You think, but you just can't come up with anything new and creative. You're bummed and you decide to go back home. As a filmmaker myself, I can only imagine most of you guys have tried this and it straight up sucks. You either give up on the spot and scrap the whole video idea, or you come home from the shoot and realize that you definitely don't have enough footage for the whole video you want to make. But how can we as a filmmaker solve this problem? Well, in my opinion, it all comes down to pre-production and how good you are to prepare your shoots from home. There's a ton of things you have to consider when you are thinking of pre-production. There's storyline, scripting, mood board, shot list, and so much more stuff you need to think about. And all of these steps are really important for your video if you're trying to tell a story or come up with a message for the audience. But how do you come up with inspiration and figure out what you actually want to shoot when you're on the location? You will probably have a few shots in mind that you want to get, but most of the time you don't have enough for the whole video. And there's certainly different ways and techniques to find inspiration for your shots, but recently I've been using this website called Frameset. And let me tell you, it's a game changer for getting unique and creative shots for your videos. Frameset is a website made for filmmakers to find inspiration for their projects. You might have an idea for a project you want to make, but not sure about what shots you want to get in the film because you want to stand out and get as creative and unique as possible. Well, this is where Frameset have really helped me with my recent projects. The website itself have over 350,000 frames and motions from movies, commercials, and music videos. This means you will always be able to find new and innovative frames to take inspiration from, and they're adding new frames every week. But I think the best way to actually show you guys how I make my mood board and shot list for my projects is to actually go ahead and make a mood board and a shot list for a project I'm going to film in this video. So let's head over to Frameset's website and I'll show you how I use it for my projects. I've had this idea to create a short cinematic sequence inside of my room for a while now. I've done it before, but I've never used Frameset to actually find some inspiration for unique and creative shots. The challenging part about making a cinematic sequence inside of my room is that it's pretty small, so I don't have that much space to move the camera around in. So let's see if we can find some very unique angles and creative shots that we can implement into this short cinematic sequence that we're gonna make inside of my room. When you go to Frameset for the first time, this is the page you're going to get into. It is a page filled with frames and motions. Motions is just a short scene from either a commercial, music video, or a movie, which just shows the movement and how the character is moving around, which can really help you if you want to create some very unique and creative kind of shots or transitions. And the frames is just basically a frame from a movie, music video, or commercial. But let's go ahead to the advanced search engine and actually search for what we want to find. My search is going to be a cinematic room. And as you can see, there's tons of different frames coming up here. And basically you just go through them all and see if there's something you like. Whenever you find something you like, you can click on it and then on this little folder here, save to set, and then you create a new set. I'm going to call this cinematic room, and then I create a set. Now I've saved it into my set, and the sets can be found over on the left side here on the website, called sets of course, and then you have the cinematic room here and all the other things that I've saved for some of my recent projects. But we're not going into the set cinematic room yet, but we need to find a few different frames or motions that we can use and implement in our sequence. So let's go ahead and find the frames. One other thing that's really useful inside of Frameset is that if you find a frame you really like, you can click on this little ring here, which is called similar search. Then it's going to come up with similar scenes to that, which is super useful if you want to find scenes that kind of fits the same mood as the one you found before, which just makes it so much easier to find frames that actually fits the scene you want to create. So I'm going to use the shot I put in my sets, and then I have found similar shots to that, and I'm going to go through all of these frames and motions. So now I've found 10 different frames that I kind of find my inspiration from, but just because I found the frames is not going to mean that I'm going to recreate them 100%. I'm just going to use them as inspiration. Some of them I might create very similar, but most of them is just to find either very unique angles, or I'm using them to get an idea in my head of what I want to shoot. And to be honest, I think this is a very nice set with 10 different frames, because I'm only going to be making 5 to 7 shots, as this is just going to be a short sequence. But of course, if you want to create bigger projects, you can find as many frames and motion as you want and put it into each set you're making. So let's go ahead and actually film the small sequence.
Memory is a strange thing.
7,
So yeah, there you have it. I really hope you liked it, and I think it turned out really great. And the whole process was just way easier since I had a few shots I could go out from inspiration. As you can see, I had the phone shot where I was looking at the phone from this shot here. Then laying down, I think she's reading a book here, but I used the phone instead just to make a bit more variation in the sequence there. And then lastly, I used this shot up here from Star Wars for inspiration for the shot where I turn on the light from the plant. And one of the other features you can always do as well on FrameSet is to find where the frame or the motion is from. And this is from Star Wars called I Am Your Father's Day, which I think is from a commercial from Star Wars on Father's Day. But overall, it just makes the whole process so much easier, and you have some inspiration for the shots, the light, the angles, just to get creative and get some inspiration for your sequences. I really hope you can use this video for anything, especially if you're in a creative rut and you don't know where to find the inspiration for your upcoming projects. You can use FrameSet for free for 10 searches a day, or you can upgrade to a professional plan where you have unlimited searches and you can make the sets that I made in this video as well. There will be a link to FrameSet down in the description, so you can go check out their website. And I truly believe this is a platform that will help out so many filmmakers and creatives. And I'm not lying when I say I use this for almost every single project I'm doing, even if it's just a reel where I want to get a bit creative and get some creative and unique shots for. So that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.